Right, hello everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with a new. I'm gonna call it Serum 2 tutorial series, but when I say that, like, it's not really just solely for Serum. It probably will be applicable to basically every other popular synth at the moment. So a lot of the things I'm gonna say will be able to apply to a lot of different other VSTs and that. So, I'll say Serum 2 because I'm going to be using Serum 2 for like the vast majority of this. But this shit can really apply to basically any other like synth at the moment. So, I'm not even going to spend too much time introducing, bro, because you know what I'm saying, it's a tutorial series. So, you're going to understand where I'm coming from very shortly. So, I'm just going to get into it without further ado. Without further ado, let's get into the video, bro. Serum 2 is a sequel plugin to the original Serum. Primarily, it's a wavetable synth, which, if you don't know a lot about synths, basically it just uses these things called tables to make it sound as opposed to like using samples or whatever else that it is. Later on down the line I'll get more into what like tables look like and shit like that, but for now just understand that it's a wavetable synth. Primarily, at least Serum 1 was. Serum 2 has a lot of different ways of creating sound, but for the time being, just to keep things simple for the first video, the primary way that you generate sound is you have these three oscillators, oscillator A, B, and C. And these are where the sounds are coming from. You just have these three. Serum 1 originally had two, but Serum 2, the upgrades and that, they have three now. And, you can choose to turn on and off any three of these. You can have them in any combination. You can have just A, just B, just C. You could have A or B, B or C, A or C, or all three of them at the same time. These things here, again, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just gonna ignore them, but you see them, you do see them, and these things you can use to manipulate the sound of whichever oscillator that you're using with more control. And these are shared between all three of them. They basically all start off in the same orientation with this one saw wave here. Again, saw wave, we'll get into it later, don't worry guys. You have these sub and noise oscillators. Basically everything that happens in Serum happens using oscillators. It's like the main way of generating sound. And these three ones are the main ones, and you get to have the most control over how they sound. And you have these secondary oscillators, sub and noise, where they are both oscillators, but you just have less control over them. You have less control over them than the main three oscillators here. You can choose the shape of the sub. It's basically like it's the exact same thing as the oscillators, but just with, you can't choose what kind of sounds are in. You can only choose these 6 ones here. Sine, this is like a rounded sine, triangle, saw, square, and like, I don't even know, like sharper square. I don't even fucking know what you'd even call that, bro. I have no clue, bro. And then you have this noise oscillator here. It's the exact same shit again, but you can import your own sounds into this oscillator, then get controls. And again, just like the sub oscillator, you have reduced amount of controls relative to the primary three oscillators that's there. And that's all that it is, really. That's about as simple as it gets. To start off, we can just kind of play. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. If I was to change this and have only oscillator B play, same shit. Oscillator C, the exact same shit. So currently, right now, these are all doing the exact same thing. They're generating the exact same sound because this is the initial preset. This is what, when you open Serum, this is what's going to be shown in front of you. And yeah, that's about it, to be honest. I think for introduction, that's about as much as you need to know. You know, you just have these three. You have this sub and you have this noise. And this noise, again, it operates differently to the other four oscillators that you have here, because this this sound that you get here will depend entirely on whatever noise sample you have loaded into it at the current moment. So this currently we have AC hum 1, which is basically just white noise. That's about it for serum. Obviously, you know, the reason why it's so good is the fact that you can add onto these and do certain shit that, you know, in like a more powerful way than a lot of other synths offer to you. But again, you know, let's just keep it short and sweet for the time being. um you know, cheers for watching, and you know, I guess I'll see you in the next fucking tutorial, man. In a bit, in a bit.